I work at a thrift store, and this just came in. A vintage metal military helmet with an unusual insignia. Could it be from World War II? Any ideas? It's a Danish M1923 helmet. The insignia is from the Danish Herrens Tekniske Corps, Army Technical Corps, which was created in 1909 to maintain Army equipment. It was disbanded in 1967, and its role was transferred to the Herrens Materiel Kommando, Army Materiel Command. In connection with the reorganization of the Defense Corps in 1967, it was absorbed by the new entity Herrens Materiel Kommando, Army Materiel Command. Army Engineering Corps consisted of the Army's weapons arsenal and Army munitions arsenal. The Corps produced in collaboration with civil industry the majority of the Army's materiel, especially weapons and ammunition. My friend found this in her barn. It's shaped like a sickle and has two handles, one with a ratchet-like mechanism on it. There are no other markings. I tried using Google image search, but couldn't find any results. Any ideas what this thing is? This is a valve spring compressor for a particular engine, tractor most likely. This valve spring compressor tool is designed to compress valve springs on overhead valve engines. I found a heavy bronze football-shaped object with two rotating wings. It's about the size of a Nerf football and can be opened up. Inside, it's very greasy, and it looks like a cable may have been fed through it. I thought it might have some maritime application, given that it's made of bronze. The wings are marked with crescent moon symbols. Any ideas what this thing is? This is variable pitch boat propeller. In marine propulsion, a variable pitch propeller is a type of propeller with blades that can be rotated around their long axis to change the blade pitch. Reversible propellers, those where the pitch can be set to negative values, can also create reverse thrust for braking or going backwards without the need to change the direction of shaft revolution. I work at a power plant in downtown Charleston, South Carolina, and we found this buried in a wooded area on the property. It sparked a lot of debate at the plant. It appears to be made of cast iron, about 3 or 4 feet long, and weighs over 100 pounds. Personally, I think it might be a Civil War era cannon. We've cleaned it up and examined the lettering, but haven't had any luck. After hours of searching on Google, I still haven't found any information on what it could be. Anyone know what this is? It's fire hydrant, middle piece of an eddy flow control valve, probably 1910 to 11. This is similar to hydrant shutoff valves in current use. It probably was related to hydro, or if the utility plant used steam, a large 6 or 8-inch service line for the plant. I'm guessing the plant went offline somewhere between 1950 to 1970. This would fit that service lifetime. This was found at the Jelgava Air Base, inside a Cold War-era aircraft bunker in Croatia. It consists of fiberglass-like strands arranged in circular sections, separated by cardboard wadding. Each section is about 1.5 centimeters tall and has a similar diameter. Anyone know what this is? During World War II, chaff, also known as window, emerged as a countermeasure against enemy radar. British researchers in 1937, including Gerald Touch, Robert Watson Watt, and R.V. Jones, proposed the idea of using lengths of wire suspended from balloons or parachutes to overwhelm radar systems with false echoes. Subsequently, they considered using pieces of metal foil falling through the air for the same purpose. In early 1942, Joan Curran, a researcher at the Telecommunications Research Establishment, further investigated this concept. She developed a plan to release packets of aluminum strips from aircraft to create a cloud of false echoes, confusing enemy detection systems. One early concept involved using sheets the size of notebook pages, which could also double as propaganda leaflets when printed. However, it was discovered that the most effective version consisted of strips of black paper backed with aluminum foil, packed into bundles weighing 1 pound each. The systems utilized small aluminum strips, or wires, cut to half the wavelength of the target radar, causing them to resonate and re-radiate radar waves. This made it challenging for opposing defenses to differentiate between the aircraft and the chaff echoes. Chaff was also independently developed in the United States by astronomer Fred Whipple and Navy engineer Merwin Bly. Whipple presented the idea to the collaborating Air Force. In the Pacific Theater, Japanese Navy Lieutenant Commander Sudo Hajime invented a Japanese version called Gimenshi, or deceiving paper. This was gifted to me by a cute old German lady. She said it is an old game her husband used to play. She doesn't remember the name of the game, nor how to play it. Set of 9 wooden balls, 4 black, 4 brown, and 1 smaller brown ball. The set seems to be missing a couple of wooden balls. Any ideas what this thing is? This is bocce, an Italian lawn bowling game. In the basement of the Italian Culture Club, bocce is played year-round on a vintage 1970s green carpet court. I found a rusted metal structure approximately 2 feet tall, located 100 feet underground in an old cave or mine. It has pipes attached, and there is electrical wire wrapped around it, which appears white in color. Any ideas what this thing is? A hydraulic ram pump, or hydrum, is a cyclic water pump powered by hydropower. It takes in water at 1 hydraulic head pressure and flow rate, and outputs water at a higher hydraulic head and lower flow rate. The device uses the water hammer effect to develop pressure that allows a portion of the input water that powers the pump to be lifted to a point higher than where the water originally started. The hydraulic ram is sometimes used in remote areas, where there is both a source of low-head hydropower and a need for pumping water to a destination higher in elevation than the source. In this situation, the ram is often useful since it requires no outside source of power other than the kinetic energy of flowing water. I live in Denmark. I found a substantial metal object in my backyard, measuring approximately 15 to 20 centimeters, 6 to 8 inches, in diameter. I refrain from handling it extensively, as it may potentially be an old mine. The object appears to be primarily composed of metal and is quite heavy. Additionally, there seems to be a plastic material surrounding the central edge. I also found another item nearby, but I am uncertain if the two are related. Any ideas what this thing is? It has enough resemblance to a German World War II Teller mine. The circular protrusion in the middle strongly resembles the attachment point for a fuse, pressure plate, tilt rod, or other activating mechanism. There are contemporary designs that bear a stronger resemblance than the mine designs in use during World War II. On the Danish west coast, I just read up on some history, and according to this source, the Germans laid out around 1.5 million mines on the Danish west coast during the final years of World War II. The last minefield in Denmark was cleared in 2012. I also find it unlikely to be one, because no one would just lay a singular lone mine. They would be laid with others in a proper field. What do you think?